to pay, do you still want to do it?
I do want to do it. You know why? Because we have to lead.
All right,
we're the best country. We know what we want. My problem here is actually that we're actually going after the prerogatives of France. It's France that takes a lot of oil from Libya. At the end of the day, what is our interest here? We don't really have a lot of interest here.
All right, Charles Payne, let's get back on the money. If we have to pay for it, should we still do it?
That's my point. Well, first of all, I don't think we should be doing it because it's not a humanitarian issue as the president laid out. Secondly, take the 7 top economies in the world, the super hot, sizzling economies. Brazil's not involved. They abstained. Russia abstained. China abstained. India abstained. Even Germany abstained, and they took their ships home with them. We are paying this because we're paying $55 million a day for the president's ideology of a one-world utopia, which we will play a leading role in. That's what we're paying for, an ideology, and it's coming out of taxpayers' pockets.
What do you say, Adam? I mean, give me what you really feel about this.
I couldn't disagree more. There is no ideology here. There's the absence of ideology. I don't know why you question that this is humanitarian in part. And secondly, you know, if France has a good idea, there's nothing wrong with acknowledging that France has a good idea just because it's France.
So are you gung-ho for it? Adam, are you gung-ho for this?
No, I'm not gung-ho for any of this, Stuart. I'd rather we weren't fighting in a war or a non-war.
I don't know if this show airs in the Ivory Coast, Bahrain, Yemen, or other parts of the world where there's serious humanitarian issues, where there's serious, the Obama doctrine should be applied to those places as well, if indeed it's humanitarian.
You do what you can.
This is a one-world government. This is what this is all about, and we're going to chip in. We're going to do our part.
All right.
You do what you can, where you can, not where you can't. And no one's talking about a world government here, Charles, except for you.
Clear disagreement about paying for something which you're not leading and which you might not want to do in the first place. But we're going to move on. You heard the Bulls and Bears gang tell you why the president's new energy plan will spike gas prices. Now get ready for the Forbes gang to reveal how it'll give you sticker shock at the grocery store. That's at the top of the hour. But up next, the world in turmoil. Stocks in America on a tear. But someone here says that's about to change.
Tonight,
the president exceeded his power.
Dennis Kucinich on Obama's Libya strategy. Plus,
it's a classic American movie.
Andy McDowell's new film and the true story behind it on Huckabee.
Some people are born to be precise. Others become that way by investing in SPDR ETFs. Before investing, consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Contact SPDR ETFs at 1-866-787-2257 for a prospectus containing this information. Read it carefully.
We now offer phone service for $1.70 a month with MagicJack. That's just $19.95 a year. $19.95 a year. We give you free local and long distance and your own phone number. Get MagicJack at all major retailers.
This month on Fox Movie Channel's Life After Film School, Nina Jacobson and Brad Simpson, producers of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules.
I've just fallen in love with the book, and making movies is just a monumental effort. You have to love the thing.
Only on Fox Movie Channel.
Coming up, the Middle East burning, Japan reeling, and Wisconsin a lot of shouting. So why did stocks rally to their best first quarter in over a decade? Plus 3 super strong stocks from the first quarter our gang says will stay strong.
You know how it is.
Attention, Medicare and insurance beneficiaries. Do health issues limit your mobility? Is it difficult to get to the bathroom on your own? Do you feel like a bother to others due to your lack of mobility? Have you fallen in the past 12 months? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you may qualify for a new power chair at little to no cost to you.
Hi, I'm Doug Harrison. If you're living with limited mobility, call the scooter store today. We're experts at getting you the power chair or scooter you need. I promise no other company will work harder to make you mobile or do more to ensure your total satisfaction, because making you mobile is our mission. We'll work with your doctor, Medicare, and your private insurance. So don't wait any longer. Call the scooter store today.
Call for your free mobility consultation and free lighted magnifier right now.
Call 1-800-366-0600 and receive this free lighted magnifier. Can you tell the difference between these flea and heartworm medications? They're exactly the same brands with the same protection, same guarantee, but these cost a lot less because they're from 1-800-PET-MEDS. And you'll get fast service, free shipping, and free returns. That's the 1-800-PET-MEDS difference. It's so easy to order, and you'll save a trip to the vet, too, because they're delivered free right to your door with our 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call now or order online from 1-800-PET-MEDS, America's largest pet pharmacy.
At Paramus Chevrolet, we promise you a pleasurable, stress-free sales and service experience. Browse indoors without pressure for both new and pre-owned vehicles. Enjoy North Jersey's best selection in our renowned Corvette salon. Paramus Chevrolet's expert sales team will help you choose the right vehicle and secure the most attractive leasing and financing possible. Paramus Chevrolet, selling satisfaction on Route 17 since 1995.
A world shaken, but a market still not stirred. The Dow rocketing in an incredible quarter. Amazing that nothing was phasing it. Not violence spreading in the Middle East, not a near-nuclear meltdown, not a union revolt here, not even anarchists attacking capitalism over there. What do you make of all this, Charles?
Well, you know, in some ways, too, this market is up by default. You know, if you're going to invest in the hottest economies in the world, China, India, they've got inflation problems. You don't really, I mean, Europe, Japan, we win by default. And it used to be our dollar that won by default, but no one believes in that anymore. So it's a stock market, which, by the way, is a de facto play on the global economy. That helps. The Federal Reserve manipulating the market higher, let's all be honest about it, that's helped tremendously. That's why the street is so afraid of what happens in June. But also, I go back to November, the elections. If you look at history, when the GOP has swept the House and/or Senate and the White House to the degree that they did, it's only happened a few times. 1994, we had an incredible run in the market. 1950, anybody remember the 50s? That was really the golden era in America. 1920 and 1893, every one of those times, we enjoyed a multiple-year rally in the market and an incredible economy, and that could be happening again.
Tom, my head's spinning. I see all what looks like negative stuff in the news headlines, and I see a stock market that just takes off. What's your explanation?
You know, I think the market goes a lot higher over time. I do, and I'll explain to you why. I mean, you have the historic factor where we're in the third year of the presidential cycle, number one. Number two, you have the Fed pumping so much money into the system, doing everything he can in his power to keep the recovery going. Now, you have to also look at the emerging economies around the globe, like Charles just said. You have India, China, Latin America, which have huge developing middle classes. And that's why 50% of all the S&P profits have come from overseas.
Well, that's a nice job of explaining it to me. How about you, Jerry? What's your explanation?
Sorry, I don't agree. I'm not on this bull wagon we got rolling here. What I think is, look, we have a big bill coming due. The federal government has pumped a ton of money into our economy, lots of liquidity, and at the end of the day, we're going to have inflation, and inflation is not good for stocks. Look back to 1974, inflation was up 12%. We can't even imagine that now. 12%.
Oh, you're not predicting 12% inflation, are you?
No, but I'm just giving you an example. I'm trying to illustrate the point. Inflation kills stocks. Stocks were down 27% that year. Of course, other things were going on, but the reality is inflation could be a big hurt on for the stock market and for the economy.
Come on into it, Adam, and explain to me why we've got a rip-roaring market and a lousy news backdrop.
Well, we have a lousy news backdrop that doesn't necessarily have as much to do with capital markets as it has to do with, you know, scary things going on in the world. So, for example, what's going on in Libya or even in Japan does not do anything to the demand. It may be inflationary demand, but to the demand in China and India and Brazil. These are some of the factors that are driving the global economy, and we're seeing a continuing recovery in the United States, as we saw last week with the improved job figures. Is it hunky-dory? No. But is it improvement? Yes. And I think that's what accounts for the up performance. Plus, it is relative, as Charles said. We were down. Now we're up.
All right, Tom, I've got to ask you, when the Fed stops printing all this money, and it's supposed to stop in June, then what? You're not so bullish then, are you?
I'm still bullish, and I'm going to explain to you why.
Go.
You know, it's interesting because when this debacle happened, you had the sell-off in Egypt, the Middle East. You had it with the unfortunate situation in Japan. Yet, all the S&P 500 earnings for 2011 and 12 moved higher. Why? People are forecasting over the next 3 to 4 years strong corporate growth, and I think people are buying that.
All right, so it's profits, bottom line.
Profits all the time.
You know what? From your lips to God's ear, I hope you're right.
I've got a final word to you, Charles.
You know, I think Tom and Jerry both are making great points. There's no doubt about it that at some point we're going to have a battle with inflation, and no one knows what that's going to mean for the stock market. By the same token, you know, I think the world is doing very well, and I think we're in a great position if we allow ourselves to take advantage of it. I'm going to ride this wave until it's over. I think it's a mistake to hop off the bandwagon until it looks like the wheels are going to fall off.
Our very own bull rider, Charles Payne. All right, thanks very much, everybody. And our thanks especially to Jerry Willis. Remember, you can catch her on the Fox Business Network, 5 p.m. Eastern Time for the Willis Report. And by the way, Neil told me to tell you it's okay to TiVo, the news channel, and watch Jerry live. That's okay, everybody. Up next, our gang has 3 stocks making those gains for the Dow look like chump change, and they're ready to stay strong.
Are you being audited?
You don't need a prescription, there are no dangerous side effects, and you should start to see improvement in as little as 2 weeks.
Try Teniacide risk-free. I guarantee it will work for you, or you'll get your money back.
All right, strong stocks ready to keep on flexing their muscles. Your pick first, Charles.
I like Genesee and Wyoming. I love the rails. I think they're a fantastic way to play the domestic and the global economy.
What do you think of that one, Adam?
I like this pick just fine, especially as the economy improves. My only caution would be that its valuation, its growth rate lags its multiple, which means that it's expensive.
Well, what's your pick then?
Leucadia. This has long been known as a mini Berkshire Hathaway. It doesn't have the problems that Berkshire has. An extraordinarily well-run company of largely financial but other assets.
Tom, do you like Leucadia?
I do. It's a great diversified company benefiting from a strong global economy. I think short-term it's overbought, but overall longer-term, you know, it's a buy.
All right, and your pick is?
Cliff Natural Resources, a major producer of iron ore. As we know, iron ore produces steel. You see what's going on in Japan, the reconstruction, China. Everyone needs steel.
Charles, do you like Cliff?
I love it. My subscribers have been in it for a long time. I have to add the caveat, it's a very, very volatile stock.
He loves it, but it's volatile. That's it. David Asman with Forbes on Fox is next. Don't forget, catch me, Varney & Company, 9:20 Eastern, Monday on the Fox Business Network. Here's Dave.